Here's how to make $10,000 a month as a college student, and I'm not going to act like some kind of business guru and give you the top 5 niches based on the trends and all this nonsense. I'm just going to tell you exactly what I did and actually still do today. When I was in college, I had an e-commerce store. Today, I have built an e-commerce brand from zero to over $50 million, livingadaily.com. I still own a couple of e-commerce brands. I have bought and sold e-commerce brands, and now my team and I service e-commerce brands. So it's what I know, and it's how I'm going to speak to you today. And I'm going to tell you that it is the easiest thing. A lot of people on the internet will tell you to jump into services if you have some kind of skill. I can tell you, as a college student, I could not imagine jumping into services with the amount of workload that I currently have being just a student in my extracurriculars, especially if you're a college student and play some kind of sport or do something else. Not a chance. You don't have the time. The best thing that you could do is jump into e-commerce and figure out how to make it work without you expending a bunch of energy towards building the thing. And $10,000 a month in e-com is not difficult. Just follow these steps. So, in college, I had my own e-commerce store. I did a lot of things wrong, and how I'm going to speak to you today are the things that I learned that I should have done back then. So, when it comes to starting an e-commerce brand, the very first thing I suggest that you do, and it's a tangible, actionable thing, is go grab a Shopify store. Why Shopify? It's not the cheapest one on the market, it's not the most expensive one on the market, but it is the easiest platform on the market to get started in e-commerce. And they walk you through every single step to get set up and start selling. And so that is the very first step in what to do. I know it's lackluster, just start there. Grab the Shopify account, set up the store, and then move on to the next thing. The next thing that you want to do. When I was in college, I had an apparel e-commerce brand, and I can tell you firsthand that if you're interested in apparel, you will find a way to make it work. But if you want to make $10,000 a month and that's your goal, go after a consumable product. And when I say consumable product, I mean things like supplements, I mean things like beauty products, I mean things like cleaning products, something that somebody can buy month over month on a recurring basis. The problem with apparel is that people will only buy apparel either once or whenever you do a merch drop, and that's usually once a quarter. And so if you do a consumable product, what happens to the consumable product? It gets consumed, and then they have to buy it again the following month. So you have a more predictable business in the background. When we talk about making $10,000 a month, it's not just about making $10,000 that first month, it's about making $10,000 a month, month over month. And this is the best way to do it. Go after a consumable product. I come from a supplement background. I love supplements because they solve a pain that somebody is experiencing. It acts as a supplement for them, and they can take it on a recurring basis because it's consumable. There's plenty of applications out there. The same way apparel has an application called Printful, like print on demand products. There's like print on demand supplements essentially. One of the websites is called suppliful.com. Check them out. Then you can easily get started with a supplement. I think they have soaps and other kind of products on there that are consumable, but you want to go after consumable products. That would be step number 2. Find a consumable product. And when I say I mean A. Don't try and do a bunch of different products. Don't come out of the gates trying to make a supplement brand or a beauty product brand. Just start with one product, bare bones branding, meaning logo, brand name, couple of colors, and one product. Just start with one. It's a lot easier to market and advertise one product as opposed to a whole bunch. Once you've proven a concept with one product and you start getting some sales through the door, that's when you can expand on. That's a topic for another video. But just start with one product, make sure it's consumable, and make sure you are thinking about a term called MRR, monthly recurring revenue. This is in the consumable space is considered subscriptions. There's a lot of applications out there, especially if you go with Shopify. There's a lot of subscription applications out there like Loop subscriptions. I'm biased towards Loop. I love Loop. I love the owner and that product that they made. So just know that I'm biased. But there's a lot of subscription apps out there that you can utilize to sell your product on a subscription basis. That way, when somebody buys it once, it's auto renewed 30 days later and it automatically gets shipped out to them because you're using a service like Suppliful or Printful, something along those lines, that when an order comes in, it just gets sent to that service. They print your label on it and ship it right to the consumer. Can you see why this is a lot more easy, or why it's easier than going after something like services where you have to actually do something for a business or another person? You just do all this initial work, and then when sales come through, which we'll talk about in just a second, when sales come through, it's automatically fulfilled. The only thing that you would have to deal with at that point, if consumers have support questions or something along those lines. Now, the third thing, there we go, there's three. The third thing that we need to do is find an influencer. Now, when I was in college, I didn't understand this concept. And let's put A right here, a little asterisk. I didn't understand this concept. I thought building a brand was you had to do everything internal, you had to post on your own Instagram, you had to do your own YouTube videos and all this kind of stuff. The problem with this is that it grows extremely slow because you don't have a traffic source just yet. And you being a college student, I have to guess that you don't have a lot of capital at your expense to go spend money on advertising. So it's not a viable option. So you don't have time and you don't have capital. So what do? You have to find somebody out there that is within your niche. So let's say our consumable product is let's say an inflammation supplement, or better yet, let's do it an immune supplement, something like vitamin D to help with colds and things of that nature. If you're going after that niche, well, we need to find an influencer that talks about health, that preferably, what I would say, has over, if we're speaking in terms of YouTube, since that's what we're watching right now, 100,000 subscribers. So, there we go. Can't spell today. 100,000 subscribers. And the reason we want to do this is because we know that they have 100,000 subscribers, they have a good amount of traffic watching their stuff. And we want to cut a deal with this influencer. What I would do is kind of create what's called a Dream 100 list. Create a list of 100 influencers that fit within your niche, that all have over 100,000 subscribers. And then what I would do is write a custom email to each and every one of them asking if they would like to partner with you on this product. They don't have to put any money forth. They don't have to do anything. They just have to talk about the product and tell people where to get it. And what you want to do is, depending on what kind of deal structure you want to set up, I highly suggest setting up a deal structure that is profit based. So when profit comes through the door, so after the cost of you getting that product out there, the profit you have left over, split it with the influencer. I would suggest 50-50. They're driving the traffic, you're managing everything from there. That's great. Because once you have that traffic coming through the door from the influencer, what's left to do? It's really just the management piece of it, and to ensure that orders are going out on time with the service that you choose. So it's Suppliful, Printful, whatever it might be, and you're answering any kind of support tickets, things of that nature, right? Then you can start adding things on as you get more time, like building up the Instagram or building up your own YouTube, or starting to dabble with some ads so you have some extra pocket money. You want to reinvest the profits into ads, things of that nature. But that is the easiest way to make $10,000 a month. And this is literally one of my business models today. Check it out, karmaspeed.com. It's ran by an influencer named Cameron. He posts videos on YouTube, and on the back end, it's an e-commerce store. So when he calls out a product that's in one of his videos, he just says, come over to this e-commerce store. He doesn't say that, but he says, come over to the Karma Speed store and purchase the product. It's literally how it works. And that store generates about 30 to about 50K a month. And it's really just simply automated from there. So if you want to make $10,000 a month, that is the quickest and the easiest way, in my opinion, to do it without breaking your back or stressing about anything else other than my homework, my studies, my exams, and getting through the rest of my degree.